If we can bring your attention to center court, we would like to honor one of our senior basketball players, Hunter Gawron. Hunter Gawron scored his 1,000th point against Maine West. Hunter joins an elite club of Niles North basketball players who have scored 1,000 points in their career. Please take a look at the messages from some of them right now.
Just some quick congratulations to our guy, Hunter. I know his number is 2,000 points. That's awesome. Very proud of him. Hunter was grown as a student, as an athlete, since he's 19 It's awesome to see. Wishing you guys the best of luck and go Vikings.
Maybach music.
What's up, Viking Nation? Malachi Nix here. Just sending a quick congratulations to our guy Hunter, becoming our newest member to the 1,000-point club. Man, that's awesome. Very proud of the way that Hunter has, grown as a student, as an athlete, since he's got to Niles North, and man, it's awesome to see. Wishing you guys the best of luck, and go Vikings.
What's up, my Niles North family? I just want to congratulate Hunter on being a part of the 1,000-point club. Wish y'all nothing but a successful season, which y'all already doing, of course, and a healthy season. Go Vikings.
What up, Hunter? It's your boy, Mario. I want to say congratulations on making the 1,000-point club. You up there with the big dogs, big dog. Congratulations. Keep it going.
Congrats, Hunter, on joining the elite club. 1,000 points is very special. It's not many of us in the club, bro, and I'm just glad you're a part of it. You and your teammates. I hope y'all do something special this year. Congrats, bro.
Congratulations, Hunter, on hitting 1,000 career points, man. It's a big achievement and a testament to showing how much hard work and dedication you've been putting into the game of basketball. And your journey is just getting started, so keep working and keep going.
Yo, Hunter, just wanted to come congratulate you on scoring your 1,000 point. This is a big milestone, Brody. Don't take it lightly. Cherish this moment. You work for this, like literally, you work for this. You from sophomore year to now, you outworked everybody on the team, and it literally shows. Every year you got better. You came in, you had your head down, you set an example. You're the leader, and I got the best big in the state. What can I say? But you do got to be biased in one-on-one, Brody. We're gonna talk about that though.
Congratulations, Hunter, on your 1,000th point. Can't think of anyone more deserving than you are. It's been awesome to see all the hard work pay off these past few years, and really proud of you.
Good evening, Vikings, and welcome to the Loud House on Fuller, the main gym. I'm Jacob Ornstein.
I'm Anthony Bramley.
And Anthony, as you can see by the beautiful tribute video we just saw, this is a very special night here at Niles North, honoring Hunter Gawron, the latest member of the 1,000 career point club here at Niles North, and joins a list of elite names. Hunter was just shown a great tribute video. He was with lots of applause from friends, from family, and we have a great matchup ahead on top of this great tribute.
Yeah,
Your Niles North Vikings are facing off against the Evanston Township High School Wildkits just down the road, 2 miles from here. Other town, it's going to be a good one, and obviously the storylines here are incredible. The main one, of course, is going to be Caden Chatham, having played 3 years of varsity at Niles North, and now this is his homecoming of sorts, as he's now a member of this Wildcat squad, and he's definitely been doing a lot of work over there, a lot of production, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see him come back.
The thing about this game, this is a top 25 matchup. The Vikings ranked 10th in Michael O'Brien's latest Super 25. The Wildkits at 25, and they're looking for a big win on the road in order to climb that Super 25. And a win tonight would be amazing for the Wildkits. Niles North, they have been undefeated at home since November of 2023, Anthony. That is a lot of protecting the turf. And Evanston has a chance to upset the Vikings at home.
Yeah, and it's definitely possible. This is such a deep Wildcat squad. Got so many players that have been here for so long. And, just a lot of experience, a great coaching staff as well. And, we are such close-knit communities here, Skokie and Niles Township and Evanston. And so we see a lot of that too. And I think, both programs have a similar respect for hard work, as it comes to not just basketball, but academic life. These are student athletes, and, both programs have great minds and great athletes on them.
And, something I very much am noticing is we got a great crowd here tonight. These seats are packed to the rafters. Plenty of Niles North students, as well as a lot of good turnout for Evanston. I was in my research for this game, kind of looking through Instagram, multiple Evanston student accounts were calling for mandatory attendance. And they definitely understood the assignment, as it's hard to see from our camera, but it's pretty packed behind camera one.
Yeah, it's so great to see, the Vikings always get energized in big matchups like this when they have the fans on their side. And we have the blackout theme as picked by the students tonight. And, most of them understood the assignment. We got some freshmen and sophomores over there in gray. But, hey, they are trying their best, and they are coming to support their Vikings. Meanwhile, E-Town, you're going to be hearing them chirping all night behind this primary camera that we're showing right now. Now, they're going to keep it respectful, as are we, but it's definitely going to be a good one.
Well said. So we'll be back in a few minutes with the national anthem and tip-off. So stay tuned for some great basketball action.
And good evening, Viking Nation, and welcome back to this contest between your Niles North Vikings and Evanston Township High School Wildkits. I say welcome back because, of course, we celebrated the 1,000-point achievement by Hunter Gawron.
Yeah, and it was a great tribute video put together by, I believe you put it together, didn't you?
I don't know who did that.
Well, regardless, it was a great tribute, and it was great to see such a great player at Niles North honored. It is a big game feel here on Lawler. We are packed to the rafters. A lot of Niles North turnout, a lot of Evanston turnout. I mean, two towns very close together, and it's just good vibes.
Yeah, it really has been. It's just so great to see, again, the energy that the fans bring on both sides. Our programs are really good at, bringing in support, but on a night like tonight, where it matters a lot for both programs, it's just good to have a large stadium feel.
And other than it being Hunter Gawron night, another big storyline here is none other than number 3, Caden Chatham. You might recognize that name because he has been with the Vikings for 3 years until this year. He hopped in the transfer portal, and he's playing for Evanston now.
I don't know if I'd call it the transfer portal, but, he is with this Evanston squad, and, it's just so exciting to see, him come back. He was such a productive player when he was with the Wildkits, and so now, to be able to come back home to Niles North, it's definitely going to be a big challenge for him, and he's going to have a lot of eyes on him.
There's always that added pressure when you're playing your former team, and with such a high-stakes game, 2 ranked teams, number 25 Evanston, are looking to climb up the Super 25, and they would do so with a win here.
Hey, it's awesome to be here at Lawler, but, you know, be glad that you're not the one double parked and taking up multiple spots here at Niles North.
I'm pretty sure I'm not. That's where these announcements get me all paranoid.
And, you know, that's why I just park early in the morning up in the front and walk over. But, hey, it is now time for the playing of our national anthem.
And that was the national anthem, and right now we are going to meet both teams.
We're going to start off with the Wildkits. Number 1, Ian Peters, the senior. Number 3, KC, Caden Chatham.
Not a very warm welcome.
Yeah. Number 5, Tristan Wilcox. And number 13, George Richardson. We also apologize, it's number 11, Thea Roca, in that starting lineup. They are, of course, head coached by Mike Ellis, assisted by Dante Johnson, Nikas Main, and Rudy Meal. But now time to meet the Vikings, Jacob.
And now your starting lineup for your Niles North Vikings. At guard, number 2, Reed Olson. At other guard, number 12, Dylan Lamb. The big man in the middle, number 21, Hunter Gawron. And guard, senior 24, Yaris Irby. And number 34, Mustafa Rexby. How'd I do?
Hey, not bad. It's hard to talk over such a crowd like this, Jacob. I mean, I'm just so excited to get into this game between your Niles North Vikings and the E-Town Wildkits.
It is a big game feel here at Lawler. This is one of the biggest games of the year for both teams. Some final preparations. The Vikings break their huddle. E-Town breaks theirs. The student section for both teams are on their feet. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Lawler as E-Town wins the tip. So Peters working, guarded by Lamb. He gets it over to Roca. Roca feeds it to Richardson, and who gets it over to Peters. Here's Roca for 3. No, rebound, Gawron. And now Reed Olson working, guarded by the familiar face, Chatham. Here's Gawron now. Gowron's driving through, stuffed. Here's Irby. And fade away, no. Well, not really a fade away, but great play. And tipped by Irby. Almost stolen, but great recovery by Evanston. And out of bounds, it was tipped by Rexby, so it's going to remain E-Town ball.
Yeah, and already I love the energy, and I love, just the confidence in some of these shots, just trying to put them up, get in the game early, and, especially make a statement against such fierce teams.
So here comes Roca with it. And he feeds it to Richardson. Richardson working through, double team, but he gets out to Chatham, who gets it to Roca, and back to Peters, who gets it. Back to Chatham. And here's a three from Caden Chatham. Sinks it. Now, how about that to start the game?
Jacob, that's got to feel good from KC, and he's already back on defense on Olsen.
And Reed Olsen now gets to the Rexby. It's loud in here as Rexby works in the paint. Gets it. Mustafa Rexby puts the Vikings on the board for the first time tonight with a nice, easy layup. So working with it now is Peters. And that was tipped. Last touch by Gawron. So to inbound it is going to be George Richardson. So Peters now with it, guarded by Lamb. And tries to cross over on Lamb, but denied. And the Vikings, they're pushing the Wildkits back a little bit, trying to capitalize on the offensive error. But Richardson, stolen by Rexby. Is he going to go up? Boom! Mustafa Rexby!
The energy is incredible. The athleticism to get up like that from Rexby is incredible. And the crowd just going bananas for it. KC back in the ball.
That dunk gets 5 big booms. And hits the ground. Foul on the Vikings.
And it is going to be something the Vikings will have to watch. With all the adrenaline comes a lot of physicality. And normally, you're impressed by it at the high school level because some guys get scared to get in there and get dirty. But between these two teams, it might be too much.
So Chatham's outside. And he gets it to Roca. And Chatham from the stripe. No. Rebound, E-Town. And wide open three. Ian Peters lands it.
And we've seen the Vikings fall for that multiple times, but that was the beginning of the season against DePaul. You don't want to see it so late against a team like E-Town.
And Rexby driving through. Outside, Irby. Aggressive defense by the Wildkits. Here comes Lamb. Now Rexby. And floats it on in. Mustafa Rexby. 3 for 3.
Yeah, and Rexby, of course, has been the main source of points here for the Vikings. But you love the physicality and the passing, too, by the Vikings.
How about that? Evanston making it rain beyond the arc. The Vikings gotta stop that, but here comes Rexby. That's someone Evanston's gotta stop. And they do right there, tip, and they go sliding out of bounds. So, subs in for Evanston. Jaden Rodriguez checks in, 6'4" forward, and a senior. Olsen, long pass to Irby, loses it a little bit, and that's going to be out of bounds. Evanston will take it back.
Yeah, and you're seeing a lot of turnovers here on the boundary, and so it's interesting to see, but great effort by Irby to try and stay in.
So Chatham and Rexby flies to the ground.
And they call it a charge.
It's actually a foul on Irby out. Not Irby, Rexby, that is.
Yeah, referees looking at each other for that one, but I guess it was the right call during this winter Officials Appreciation Week by the IHSA.
Yeah, certainly. Here comes Evanston for three, no, and rebound, Niles North. Olsen long out to Irby. Motions over Olsen. And guarded by Chatham. Wide open, Lamb! Boom! To the Lamb! Bam from Lamb, way downtown!
An impressive pass, behind to Lamb, and he's wide open for it.
I mean, he's hit that corner three time and time again. And misses the dunk, Chatham. Rebound, Niles North. And you know, I saw him go to that dunk a couple times during warm-ups. He was a little iffy with it and misses it there. Lamb to Gawron. Rexby outside to Irby. Three from Irby. No. And rebound, Wildkits. Chatham with it. He's driving through. And great big man moves from Vito Roca.
Disappointing to see that, come so easy. Also, the premature block was not a confidence-inspiring, but, they're going to be able to adjust. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness, Reed Olsen, you got to be kidding me. I heard a gas. That's right, a gas in this gym.
Forget whatever I was talking about.
Wow. And here's a shot up from Evanston. Air ball. And Viking ball. And this Viking student section is going to let him hear that all night.
Yeah, this crowd is going to be crazy all day.
Dare I say, this has been louder than West.
Yeah, and it's going to be a wilder gameplay than West, too. The Vikings beating their rivals, West, 74-42 earlier in the season. So that kind of energized them to, be strong against teams that they perceive to be tough.
And here's Rexy driving through. No, and foul. It's going to go on E-Town, and Rexby is going to take his first trip to the line tonight.
Rexby for a big is pretty good shooting from the line, so let's see how he does with two shots right here.
The stadium pulse just a little too much for Rexby. He misses his first. And 0 for 2 for his first trip to the line tonight. Chatham with it now. He gets it out to Roca, who Chatham now with it. Way out to Peters. And works it outside. And denied by the Vikings. Here comes Irby. Sense of urgency up the court. And whistles as Irby goes down. Gets right back up, though. It's going to go on Ian Peters, and it's going to be Irby's first trip to the line tonight.
And, Jacob, we mentioned, that Niles West game. The other big win by the Vikings came just a week later as, Irby sinks that first. But against the Simeon Wolverines, that was the other big win here by this Viking squad. They're looking for another tonight.
And this would be a great win against a great rival. So Irby sinks both, and the Vikings have a 3-point lead. Chatham now with it. And poke loose by Gawron. Chatham falls on it quickly. And here's a three. Sinks it. Ian Peters goes deep. And Reed Olsen taking it now. Works around Chatham. Gets it out to Andy Simon. Irby now. And another gasp. Doesn't capitalize that time. And here's a wide open three from Peters. You gotta be kidding. Ian Peters wide open for three again.
Yeah, we got locked on Peters. And, you know, the Vikings have just been slow in transition. Peters waiting right there in the corner, gets the easy shot.
And Olsen hops up and one. Flying on in, and he's gonna get a chance to tie this game.
Yeah, and Reed Olsen, the big story with him this year, you know, his 4th year on varsity, he has matured so much as a player. We used to see him just take wild threes, and, you know, sometimes they go in and we go crazy over it. But now this year, he's really been trying to drive into the lane more, and it's a level of maturity that we've seen grown from him throughout his high school career.
So misses that one, so Evanston will still lead by 1. Chatham outside now. And driving through, gets it. Jaden Rodriguez going in and putting it in. Less than a minute left here in the first quarter. Olsen driving, and he's Simon outside. Out to Olsen. Great defense by Evanston. Here comes Dylan Lamb. No, clean defense. And Ian Peters wide open. No. And Reed Olsen rebounds. 6 seconds left. He's got to make something happen. And he's Simon at the buzzer. No. And that'll do it for the first quarter on Lawler. Your Niles North 16, Evanston 19.
Yeah, I mean, just an incredible matchup already in the first quarter. So tight, so many turnovers, so much back and forth scoring, and so much on the line. Now, one asset that the Vikings have not used as much in this game as they have in others is Hunter Gawron. The Wildkits have done a great job of, you know, lessening his ability to get right to the basket. But, you know, he feels pumped up. He just celebrated 1,000 points, and he talked to some of our freshman members of Viking media about this night.
My name is Miro, and can you please briefly explain who you are to the fans who don't know?
Hunter Gawron, I'm a Niles North varsity athlete, plays basketball here.
And how does it feel to reach 1,000 points?
It feels great. I'm really thankful for my teammates who have given me the capabilities to do such.
And do you feel confident in going into tonight's game?
I feel very confident that we have the weapons to defeat Evanston.
And what's something you wish you knew when you started basketball?
Hard work beats talent.
Thank you so much. Have a good.
So that was Hunter there talking to Miro just about how it feels to be a 1,000-point scorer. Now, we thought he would see more tonight, but Wildkits have been doing a very good job of kind of stopping him. How do you think they'll be able to get Hunter more involved today?
I mean, it's just simply do what he's been doing best all season. You have him be that aggressive force in the middle on defense and try to draw up more plays for him. You know he can jump, and you know he can throw that thing down. I think if they draw up some more plays like that, I think Hunter can really get involved in this game and really make a difference. But we are back, and Hunter Gawron with it and gets it to Irby. Here's Olsen now. And tries to lob it to Gawron. And out of bounds, Evanston ball. And they've been winning this turnover battle.
Yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate for the Wildkits that they haven't always been capitalizing. Of course, when you have Ian Peters down there to shoot 3, he usually gets it done. And he's going to try it now by himself.
And Evanston working with it. Big move on Lamb. Outside, Richardson. And triple teamed. And that's called in a hurry. Aggressive defense being drawn up by Vikings coach Glenn Olsen.
Yeah, I mean, he's been looking forward to this game all season. And, you know, it's impressive to see how the Vikings have responded to such a tough schedule picked out by our AD and Coach Olsen.
And here's the 3 from Peters. He's on fire tonight. He has been making it rain from beyond the arc and been making the Vikings pay. And Olsen, and one. Why shoot it from beyond the arc when you can get an extra point at the line?
I mean, how about that Reed Olsen again? Seeing some maturity. He's trying to get in there, trying to get dirty. And you'll love to see it from him. Just wish he would incorporate the teammates a little bit more. And, Wildkits have been doing a great job at disabling some of the Vikings schemes, but they got to keep pushing.
The foul goes on Jaden Rodriguez of Evanston. It's his first on the evening. And the Vikings have a new face checked in, number 3, Rain Punzal. So Olsen gets the bucket. And 3-point opportunity capitalized. Peters with it. And whistles, and that's Viking ball. And a rare misstep by Irby there.
Yeah, he tipped over, and it did get the call as Moose Rexby will inbound. Also to notice, Rain Punzal, one of the best sixth men in the state, now on the court. He's just a junior, and he's been doing so much in terms of scoring for the Vikings. And, Olsen wants him out there as another weapon for his team.
Definitely keep a big eye on Rain Punzal. He'll make it rain. No pun intended. And up on and in. No. Evanston ball. It was called goaltending. And here comes Evanston. Chatham with it. Step back, no. And Chatham outside, he's back in for the Wildkits. He's guarded by Irby and Gawron. And here is number 10, Ben Ohala, who gets it over to Rodriguez. Ohala up. Denied by Gawron, but fouled by Gawron, and he is going to go to the line.
Yeah, that was really silly, and the Wildcat one is the way he was coming up from under to try to pass it back up. Hunter Gawron, just a little bit too much adrenaline there, tries to slap it out and gets the forearm.
And an interesting note about Ben Ohala, he is a 6'1" guard and a freshman on varsity. A lot of trust in this man to get a lot done. So Hunter Gawron's going to take a seat now. Andy Simon is checked in for the Vikings. And up and in. And now some subs for Evanston. Rodriguez taking a seat in favor of Theo Roca. So Olsen going to slow it down now. Here's Andy Simon. Irby tries to lay it up, but no. And breakaway by Chatham. Falls down. Now that was some chaos, but it ends with E-Town on top.
Yeah, it's going to be a long night for the Vikings if they let stuff like that distract them. We do have whistles on the court. Could you tell what for, Jacob?
I can't quite make it out. Seems to be some confusion on the floor as well. It's a tech on the student section.
And you never want to see that, the Vikings always want to be respectful to, the officials, other coaches, the opposing fans, and just disappointing. We're not sure what fan base it was, but again, we know that the Vikings don't do that, and we hope that the Wildkits are not.
Sportsmanship is emphasized here in the IHSA. Not a good sight, but what is a good sight is Irby in motion gets it to Olsen, and he's motioning over to no, long three, Reed Olsen, no, rebound, Punzal, but stolen by E-Town. And long out to the freshman, sinks it, Ben Ohala, making it rain. And you are starting to hear the he's a freshman chants. There they are. And here's Simon working through. Irby outside. Working in. And that's going to be, I believe, a charge on Irby. He has some choice words for the official.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but I just want to shout out Ben Ohala, number 10, from the Wildkits that we've been seeing shoot so much. He's got ice in his veins, and it's showing. Definitely one of the best assets, or most valuable assets, rather, for this Wildcat team. And the Vikings haven't really been able to respond to guys like him and Peters, coming in quick in transition.
And you pretty much summed it up. It's just the Niles North has been giving up threes after threes. It's the reason Evanston has a lead this big. I mean, we haven't seen the Vikings underperform this much in a while.
Yeah, especially not at home. So kind of crazy to see, but, it's happened many times this season against DePaul. It was a tight game at the end, 69-63. Lane Tech, 74-72. Hinsdale Central, 78-77, right? When it's these big situations and a lot of stakes for the Vikings, they never seem to be able to perform. Now they're looking to snap that streak tonight. Big game like this, E-Town number 25, the team across the North Shore Channel. But right now it is not going the Vikings' way, and they got to keep up the energy throughout the game to hopefully cull this lead by the Wildkits.
So we're coming out the timeout, and your Vikings taking the floor, Olsen, Simon, Rexby, Lamb, and Irby. And Evanston, they are rolling with Roca, Ohala, Chatham, and also Timmy Ogunsanya. And not to mention number 11 for the Wildkits, or 21, that is. And there's a missed shot there by Chatham. So here is Olsen. He gets it over to Simon, and maybe had a second thought going up there, but it cost the Vikings in the end.
Yeah, he couldn't get the point, but I do believe it came off an Evanstonian, so will remain Viking ball, Reed Olsen to inbound.
So Simon coming out in favor of Punzal. Here's Olsen. Looks for Irby. And watch out for Dylan Lamb. Watch out for Irby! Yaris Irby for three is waved off. I'm not quite sure what I witnessed there, but regardless, Evanston. And here's Ohala, the freshman. No. Roca. Chatham. Smothered outside Ohala for three. No. Rebound. Evanston falling down. Roca. Chaos. And Evanston capitalizes.
Yeah, it's incredible. That ball spent maybe a minute on that half of the court, and the Vikings still let it go in for two. Very disappointing, and they had so many opportunities to bring it back over. But here's Irby now to get some points on the board. Just kidding.
Ouch, as that is stolen by Ohala. And Ohala, no. Rebound, Evanston, Chatham. And out of bounds, Evanston will retain possession. I want to say it was last touched by the head of Irby.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. Trying to get out of there, but just didn't quite work out. Got bopped in the back of the noggin. And it'll be Wildcat ball. Caden Chatham to inbound in this tough contest.
So Chatham gets it out. He's outside now. Chatham outside. And slowing down the floor. Here is Roca. Theo Roca, that is. Chatham now with it. And outside to Lane. New face for Evanston. And gets it on in. Dion Lane Jr. gets his first bucket of the night.
I mean, the Vikings on defense have been kind of passive at that last moment. Right under the basket, they're straight up, which you want to see to avoid a foul. But at some point, you got to get in there and get overhead.
Gawron now with it. Doesn't get it to go. Evanston taking it now. And Chatham wide open for three. Not Irby. Rexby denies it. But Chatham, second chance, sinks it.
And say what you will, but Moose was not going to let KC get points that easy. You have to fight for it.
DeLamb, no. Gawron now outside, and in the paint gets it. Hunter Gawron.
Hey, now that's the 1,000-point scorer I know, getting dirty, getting right up on the basket, and getting points for his team.
I mean, it isn't quite the 1,000-point scorer we know until he slams that thing home. And outside, Ian Peters, the Vikings' worst nightmare, sinks another three.
Ian Peters and Ohala, man, it's incredible what E-Town shooters can do. And Reed Olson, guys like him, and Rain Penzel have not yet been able to do the same.
So Gawron up, gets it. Hunter Gawron, another couple for him. And now Ian Peters with it. Step back. Wide open. No, rebound Irby. And that will make your heart drop.
You know, I think Ian Peters just does better knowing that he has people running behind him.
And Olsen tries to lob it up to Gawron, presumably for a dunk, but here's Lane Jr. No. Rebound, Reed Olsen. 1 minute left here in the first half. And Olsen gets the lamb. And Lane takes a tumble. That foul is going to go on Niles North. No, correction. It is on Evanston. I mean, it's been a tough, scrappy game. It's hard to tell who the fouls are on because both teams have been aggressive, and you love to see it.
Yeah, you do. And just this time it's going to come out in the Vikings' advantage. Popped up to Gawron.
And Gawron, no, rebound Chatham. He's driving through. And over Hunter Gawron, Caden Chatham. Happy homecoming. Gets another two. Olsen out to Rexby, gets it to Irby. And shot up by Yars. Irby sinks it. Nice little fadeaway. And the Vikings are starting to reduce the deficit, but 10 seconds left. Evanston has a little bit of time to work something. 3 seconds. Here's Chatham. No. And at the buzzer, Vito Roca makes it happen. And your score for the first half is Niles North 28, Evanston 41. And this has been a surprise to say the least, Anthony. Evanston humbling the Vikings, proving that they are mortal.
Yeah, I was not expecting. I mean, I don't think anyone was expecting the Wildkits to pull away 41-28 going into halftime. I mean, we go back to quarter number one. Score was 17-16 and the Vikings' advantage. Now the Wildkits just going crazy, and the Vikings have not been able to reciprocate. I mean, we finally started to get Hunter Gawron some more touches, some easy twos, but we're leaving guys like Ian Peters and Ben Ohala open for Evanston. I don't think, Olsen was expecting, such great shooting ability from the E-Town squad.
Ian Peters and Ben Ohala. That's been a duo that's been giving the Vikings a lot of trouble. I mean, they've been wide open for three pretty much every chance they touch the ball.
Yeah, and a lot of that time, or a lot of the time rather, it's in transition, right? So everyone's scrambling to get to the other end of the court, but by the time the Vikings can get there, the ball is already in Pierce's hand, and that's an easy three for him. I joked earlier, I think it's easier for Ian when he knows there's people running behind him. He's got a ticking clock, whereas on one of those last plays, he kind of just had open floor in front of him and couldn't quite make it. So just very impressive from Evanston putting those points on the board, and great fight from both sides. But Jacob, I think we have a performance on our hands.
Yes, we do. So the Vikings will look to neutralize Peters and Ohala. But in the meantime, it's halftime, and we have a dance performance here by the Vikings. So we'll leave you with them. As we take a break, we'll be back with the start of the second half.
All right, and hello, Viking Nation. My name is Anthony Bramley. You're normally used to seeing me, or not seeing me, just hearing me, but we are here, very special guest, Dr. Marcus Campbell of Evanston Township High School District 202. Dr. Campbell, it's so nice to see you. I mean, I think I know the answer to this question, but were you expecting the Wildkits to be up so much at this point?
I was expecting the Wildkits to do their best, and I'm proud of where we are right now.
Awesome. I mean, you know, it's so great to have you here so you can talk about all that's going on in Evanston. What's one program at ETHS that you guys are working on right now to improve students' lives and student-athletes' lives?
Yeah, well, we always got a lot going on at ETHS, but I'm really proud of a brand new student leadership program that we're getting ready to launch. It's called E-Lead, and we're very excited about it. So it's going to start taking freshmen next year, and it's going to be a 4-year enrichment program for students, and I'm very excited about that.
That sounds incredible, Dr. Campbell. Now, one more thing. Your predecessor, Dr. Eric Witherspoon, had a saying, it's a great day to be a Wildcat. Do you think it's going to be a great day to be a Wildcat here at Niles North?
It's always a great day to be a Wildcat, Anthony.
Well, how about that? Thank you, Dr. Campbell. And we also have Rayon Quadri, one of our high school basketball players here with assistant coach.
With
Savion Shad.
And we're here to ask him, how is the atmosphere and in general, the player basketball-wise and outside different from Evanston to Niles North?
It's pretty much the same at both places. Right now, we down a little bit, but the second half we should be able to come back. Working at Evanston, I see a lot of these guys every day. I love them, but I wish they stopped hitting shots right now for us.
Do you have a doubt that they're going to lose? Niles North?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay, great. Thank you. We're done.
Thank you, Rayon, for interviewing Coach Shad, and it's kind of cool to see the connection he has to both schools. We are going to take about 30 seconds before we get into this next half.
I mean, this has been a great game. I mean, it was a big game feel before this game started, and it is now. Now, Evanston, they're up 42-28. A humbling game for the Vikings. And Evanston has been on a roll, especially Ian Peters and Ben Ohala.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just so overwhelmed by all the running around and all the loud, cheers from both sides here. E-Town and the Vikings, two of the greatest fan bases in the state of Illinois. They're definitely showing it off here tonight. I'm sweating, Jacob. Oh, my goodness.
I'm pretty hot myself. I mean, it's just games like these make you so excited. So, Evanston is going to inbound it. Number 13, George Richardson. And Richardson gets it way back to Peters, and we are back underway here at Lawler. Chatham is now taking it outside, and here is Roca. Roca going up, denied by Gawron. Reed Olson now taking it up. Long out to Gawron. And Mustafa Rexby with it. Long out to Irby. Olson outside. And Rexby doesn't take the three. Here's Dylan Lamb, and denied by Evanston. Theo Roca taking it up. And crosses up. Lamb. Roca now loses it a little bit, gets it to the other Roca. And Richardson now gets it out to Theo Roca. And now Vito Roca with it, who gets it to Peters. Long out the Chatham, tries to feed Roca. Wide open, Richardson, no! And Chatham, another chance, yes! Kanan Chatham sinks it, and E-Town strikes first in the second half. So Reed Olson working it now. He's driving forward, and luckily rebounded by the Vikings, and Dylan Lamb sinks it.
We do want to note Reed Olson took a pretty hard fall there. It looked like it came on his wrist, and he was slow to come up on it.
Yeah, I noticed that too. He seems to be fairly okay, but definitely might affect him as the evening goes on. And here's a three from Roca. It won't go. Olson now with it. Rexby, Lamb, Gawron, and a lot of fighting there in the middle. Saw George Richardson and Vito Roca giving Gawron a hard time. And Dylan Lamb is going to take a seat, and Andy Simon will check in for him. Also, subs coming in for E-Town. Jaden Rodriguez is coming in for Evanston. So Olson to inbound, gets to the Gawron, outside, Rexby. Olson now outside, Rexby. And fumbles it, and out of bounds. And Evanston, they've been winning the turnover battle throughout the game, and it's shown. They are getting opportunity after opportunity.
Yeah, and at this point, they are really taking advantage of them. You know, they were starting out slow in that first quarter, where, again, it was very back and forth. But now they're taking full opportunity. We got a Wildcat on the ground there.
He gets right back up, though. The foul is going to go on Andy Simon, and a new face checking in for the Vikings. Number 1, Enzo DeAndrea, checking in for the first time tonight. A 5'9" junior, looking to make it happen. And Evanston in the middle, and Vito Roca sinks it. So here comes Reed Olson now. Long out to Rexby. And tries to feed it to Olson, but he sends him fleeting back. And if that's not a backcourt violation, I don't know what is.
Yeah, very disappointing. And, the Evanston Wildcats were just going to let him do it. So now Evanston takes over on the ball yet again.
Another costly turnover for the Vikings. And Dylan Lamb's checking it back in. He comes in for Rexby. So Chatham inbounds it over to Peters. Peters working it outside, lobs it up, and denied by Dylan Lamb. Vikings take it, and Irby now with some space. Yards Irby full head of steam. Outside to Olson. And Olsen working some moves. Here's a three from Reed Olsen. No! And rebound, Peters. And a travel is called on Peters. One of few mistakes he's made tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first time that, or one of the few times rather, that the Vikings have been on the receiving side of one of those turnovers. So now it'll be Dylan Lamb to inbound to Gawron.
So Gawron with it, gets it over to Reed Olsen. And floater from Olsen won't go. Rebound, Chatham. And the Vikings have not been able to make many opportunities, but here's an opportunity right now. Roca gets it to Chatham. And air balls in the paint. And it's going to be out of bounds. Last touch by the Wildkits. So Olsen taking it now. Works around. Lamb gets it to Irby. And Irby, aggressive play. And that is going to be whistled dead and another Niles North turnover.
Yeah, and this time it's 5 seconds with the ball to himself, and he doesn't get a timeout in on time. So very disappointing as the Wildcats look to go again. Here comes the timeout now as Coach Olsen needs to talk some things over with his team. It is so hard to talk and so hard to hear myself talk when we got these E-Town and Viking fans, Jacob.
I mean, they are loud. Both student sections have been very vocal tonight, but it seems Evanston has been a little bit louder. I mean, and it's shown. Evanston, a lofty lead so far. They're up 15. And we haven't seen the Vikings play catch up in a good minute, nonetheless at home.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll definitely be energized by the Purple Pack, who are, of course, wearing black for the theme, led by senior Nicholas Socorro. But, I mean, it's definitely going to be hard, and the Vikings haven't lost a game by a deficit like this all season, so this would definitely be historical for them should this go even further south for Niles North.
There is still plenty of time left here in this game for some basketball, and all it takes is one good run by the Vikings, and this is a whole different ball game. So Rodriguez will get it to Roca. And number 11, Theo Roca. And now Rodriguez and Theo Roca sinks it. And here comes Reed Olsen, guarded by Chatham. And Olsen's going to hand this off to DeAndrea Irby. Outside, Olsen, three. Bang! Reed Olsen, 6-3.
That's the type of shot that we need to go in, and it's perfect timing. Hopefully the Vikings can get some momentum from it.
So Peters to Roca to Chatham to three. A three for number 3. That's a whole lot of threes.
Yeah, and the Wildkits are the first of 50. Normally that's the Vikings' job in contests like these, as Lamb is making some moves.
Dylan Lamb. And that's going to be blown dead.
I don't know if you can hear Coach Mike Ellis, a true Evanston man, yelling at his players. They want him to talk, or he wants them, rather, to talk, be involved in the play. And they were certainly holding on the Vikings there, but they got to keep it up.
Communication is a key part, and that's going to go out on Chatham. And you could hear Vikings coach Glenn Olsen trying to draw something up. And here's a three for Olsen. Whenever he was drawing up, it worked as Reed Olsen sinks the three. But here comes Evanston and answers with 2.
And it's the speed from the Wildcats that's really been giving them the advantage. It's the same story with Hinsdale Central. Those Red Devils down there in Hinsdale were such a speedy team, and the Vikings couldn't catch up. Now, that was a closer game. It ended 78-77. But, Yaris wants a result like that, making it closer with a 3.
So Yaris Irby gets on the board. And Peters outside. Rodriguez, no! And Gawron tips it, and Viking ball making that long wingspan work.
Just incredible athleticism from all the guys on this court. It's going to be Mustafa Rixby to Reed Olson.
So Olson now with it. And now Irby outside. And here's the 3 from Irby. No. And that ball was heading out of bounds, but picked up by the Wildkits, and Peters now. Roca hands it off to Richardson. And Richardson travels. And a turnover for the Vikings, getting a break they need right now.
Yeah, silly mistakes like that are going to cost you. It's now up to the Vikings, though, to take advantage. Historically, throughout the night, they have not.
Minute and a half left here to play in the third quarter. As here's the 3 from Reed Olson. No! And quickly, the whistles blow. It's going to go on Niles North, and Evanston will have another opportunity.
Coach Bias was fired up there as he did not get the call. Reed Olson taking a pretty big thump to the ground. And now I think they might have assessed the technical based on this holdup right now.
So, Theo Roca gonna shoot and misses.
Hey, while we have this downtime, we do want to acknowledge our fans. We hit 1,500 subscribers today, and we currently have the most concurrent viewers on the stream as I've been coordinator of this program. 215 of you according to our portal. So we just want to thank you all for supporting the Vikings or supporting the Wildkits here tonight.
We appreciate you sticking around with us as Chatham outside. Chatham working Irby. And timeout called by Evanston. I don't know if they liked what they were seeing. But regardless, 54-39 going into this timeout. And for the first time in a while, this student section for Niles North has been awfully quiet.
Yeah, the purple pack turned down the volume a little bit. Again, I don't think anyone was really expecting the Wildcats to have such a lead. I mean, we talked to Dr. Campbell, and he obviously expected it, but just crazy to see these Wildcats putting in so much work on the court. But, I mean, it's not that shocking to see them be so productive. We're pulling up their basketball record right now, but they had a game where they had 99 points against an opponent earlier in the season, so crazy to see. Yeah, they opened up 97-15 against Latin, 94-39, so they definitely have guys who can shoot, and it's showing.
So Chatham with it. Working outside. And here comes Irby now. And sinks it. And one for Yaris Irby. So the and one opportunity for Yaris Irby to reduce the deficit. And he sinks it. And stolen by Olson. and tries to make quick work, but no. Rebound, Lamb, and feeds it to Gawron, and I don't know if he was ready for it.
Yeah, he wasn't ready for. Oh my.
And Rexby takes the charge. I mean, there was some flight there, and it looks like number 2, Deion Lane Jr. takes a little bit of a tumble for Evanston. Luckily, he gets back up. He's going to take a seat, get some well-deserved rest. So Rexby gets it over to Olsen. And here is Rexby. Out to Gawron. Irby with it now. And loses it out of bounds. And Evanston ball, another costly turnover.
Yeah, rolls out of bounds right in front of assistant principal Julianne Evans. She wasn't impressed by it. I think she wanted to get on the court there, maybe sink a couple shots down.
Wow. You are ruthless tonight.
No, I mean, I'm serious. No, she's a hooper. Just a great addition to our Niles North community coming in this year. She's one of 2 new administrative hires. Also got Mr. Collins in the physical welfare department. So, of course, we welcome them to Niles North High School.
And we love to welcome them into the Viking family. And a former member of the Viking family, Kaden Chatham, with it. And here comes Richardson, and he gets it over to Peters. Poonzall working Peters. And quick whistles, and the Vikings get a break. 4.4 seconds left. A little bit of time for the Vikings to do one more quick play. And a new face checked in for Evanston, number 33, Monte Dillard Jr. So Rexby gets it out to Olsen. And misses at the buzzer. So the score will remain Evanston 54, Niles North 42. And we are coming down to the last quarter of play. Anthony, it's not looking too good for the Vikings. However, they are not out of this game.
Yeah, no.
What do you do in this quarter in order to start something?
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of quote-unquote garbage time play here from the Vikings. It's something that they started too late in their DePaul season opener. That was against the defending 3A state champs. But just getting those fouls on the ball carrier early and, making them shoot, getting that ball right back. Now, they're going to have issues if they can't capitalize on it like they haven't been able to with these sort of unforced turnovers. But, it's still within the Vikings' hands here, even though they are down 12 points to a tough E-Town squad. Now, one of those members, of course, has been the story tonight, Kaden Chatham. Miro talked to him earlier today just about what this game means to him.
Hello, my name is Miro, and can you please briefly introduce yourself to fans who don't already know you?
I'm Kaden Chatham. I go to Evanston Township High School.
How does it feel to be back at North but on the opposite team?
It feels great. It just feels like home, I guess. But I found a new place, and it's just kind of like nostalgia a little bit. Everybody's here, all familiar faces. Everybody's saying what's up. I feel a lot of love here.
Mm-hmm. And what are your hopes going into today's game?
Not even hope, but like the plan going into every game is just to win, no matter where it is or what team it is. For us to just execute our game plan and pull off the dub.
Thank you so much.
And special thanks to Miro and Kaden Chatham for that interview, as Hunter Gawron sinks that, and that will reduce the deficit to 10. So Peters, and now the student section alive, and the freshman Ohala falls. Evanston is going to inbound, and Ohala, the freshman phenom, taking it. And here's Evanston, falls on it. Vito Roca will fall on it, but a timeout is called on the floor. It was called by the Wildkits. Didn't like what they saw. And a second to catch our breath here.
Yeah, I mean, much needed as they go into the final 7 minutes, 20 seconds of the game. Vikings have got to be ready to chase down the ball carrier whenever possible. Although I think they still do have a little bit of time just to play traditional, get those shots up from guys like Olsen from behind the three.
I mean, it's a 10-point game. The Vikings are without a doubt in this, and all it takes is just a couple good shots, and all of a sudden, the Vikings are knocking at the door. So, Ohala to inbound. And gets it out to Richardson. Peters now. Ohala with it. And singing it, Richardson. That'll increase the E-Town lead to 4-12, that is. Olsen with it. And one for Reed Olsen.
Yeah, and Reed Olsen was looking for those whistles on contact many times tonight. He finally gets one, and he'll be able to shoot now for two.
And Reed Olsen to make it a three-point play. And he gets it with ease. So the Vikings are down by single digits for the first time in a while. Here's Roca. Gets it over to Peters. Here comes the other Roca. Chatham. And stumbles. And here's a three from Evanston. Won't go. Rebound Irby. And now the Vikings have a little bit of momentum. Reed Olsen three. No. Rebound Evanston. And Caden Chatham now working up the court. Roca to Peters. And Peters tries to feed Theo Roca, but he cannot quite get the reach. So now, Mustafa Rexby gonna take it, and the Vikings are starting to chip away. Reed Olsen now. To Irby. And whistles will go. Will go on the Wildkits. A little bit of pushing and shoving.
Yeah, and Yaris slow to come up, but he does. You know, that's the other valuable weapon that the Vikings are used to having from on the perimeter, and just hasn't been going as much as he normally does tonight. Oh, he's had some games this season where he scored 26, but the Wildkits have been doing numbers on his ability to shoot, and it's been limiting him tonight.
So Irby is going to go to the line for two shots. And Irby sinks the first. Ragsby 2 for 2 on that trip to the line, and he's fired up after that. So now the Vikings down only 7. So if you are asleep, wake up, because Niles North is starting to do something, and an costly error by Evanston is going to turn the ball over.
They might let this one slip. You mentioned it. When at that timeout, Vikings were down 12, now only down 7. Mike Ellis has got to be losing it right now. When you have miscommunication on a play like that at such an incredibly tight time, in the game, you hate to see it if you're a Wildcat, and the Vikings, like sharks, are going to see the opportunity and seize on it.
I mean, they smell blood in the water here. They are starting to make things happen. And, what's kind of interesting, what's a little bit ironic, you could say, is that Evanston are making a lot of the mistakes that the Vikings did in the first half.
Yeah, it's kind of coming back around. Vikings, I think it's just because they have more stamina maybe than this Wildcats roster, and our guys haven't been used to playing 32-minute games, but they have the ability, and so if they can keep up the energy while the Wildcats can't, it's going to be way easier for them to come back.
And what a game it's been, and what a night it has been. Celebrating Hunter Gawron surpassing 1,000 points. And, I mean, if you haven't followed both of these teams all season, then you are finding a great place to start.
Yeah, definitely. 2 of the top teams in the Central Suburban League. The Vikings actually leading the CSL North. Evanston, I don't know where they stand, because the CSL South is always a tough, conference to be playing in, but definitely one of the dominant squads out there, and shows in their Chicagoland ranking 25th as per the Chicago Sun-Times, and they'll definitely get that number up no matter the outcome of this game, just based on their fight.
And I will say, Michael LeBron, if you're taking notes, this Evanston team is very talented, and they've been pushing the Vikings to the limit.
I'm pretty sure I actually saw him here, so he's already seen it, Jacob.
We got royalty in the house. Ragsby. And out of bounds. Vikings will retain possession. Olsen gets it over to Irby. And floater, Reed Olsen. And that will reduce it to 5.
He's been trying that floater all night, and he's finally going to get it when it matters most. KC now with the ball.
How about that? Chatham. And now it's getting loud in here, and tries to get it to Peters. He's been great from beyond the arc, and denied by Hunter Gawron. Olsen, he does keep the ball, thankfully. Loses his balance there, but and outside, Ragsby, Olsen, Irby. We're naming the whole roster here. And Irby working through, driving through. Yes! Yaris Irby sinks it, and the deficit is quickly shrinking.
What a leg. Oh, my goodness. I don't know what to do with it.
The Vikings now down 4. And everybody in this building knows it. And out of bounds. I believe it was last touched by Ragsby. And then now North student section quickly talking to the Evanston student section, noticeably more quiet. And Peters now driving through, and he will be fouled. Evanston will retain possession.
I tell you, man, it's so loud. My ears are going to be ringing, as I'm driving back home in the ice, man. This has just been incredible from both sides. Incredible play and incredible, fans.
incredible fans indeed. And here's Ohala out to Chatham. And now Rodriguez. And Peters outside. Roca. Peters takes a tumble. Olsen takes a tumble. Everybody's falling on this court. Wide open, Peters. No! Oh, and here comes Irby. The tie. Yes! Yaris Irby ties the game. I'm falling out of my seat as that happens. Wow! And E-Town working with it.
I can't hear what anyone is saying right now. Jacob just took a tumble. Jacob just fell on his butt. I almost slipped too. It is incredible in here. Vikings tying at 56-56. Courtesy of a long three. The purple pack going wild in that first row. And I gotta take a drink. I gotta take a breather. I gotta go outside, Jacob.
I mean, me too, but I still got to call again. Picked up by Irby! Irby! Denied by Shadow! Cinema! Cinema! One word to describe this game.
Caden Chatham talking to the bench, trying to figure out what's going on. He gets the ball back. It's under and
a foul by the Wildkits! The Vikings are making things happen.
I can't believe it. We got to blow the whistle to quiet it down in here, and officials talking. I think we might just be slowing the game down because of the volume. Maybe we got a timeout, and we got a bloody nose from Rain Punzal. Again, one of the best sixth men in the state, one of the younger players on this squad, and one of the most efficient shooters when he gets that ball in his hands. It's going to be incredible to see with 2.5 minutes remaining.
And wow. This, by far, is probably one of the best basketball games I have called here at Eden Viking Media. And frankly, one of the best I've seen. This game has been pure adrenaline. The lifeblood of two neighboring towns pounding. And Punzal to Olsen. Lobs up to Gawron. And the Vikings take the lead. Plenty of basketball to play, but the Vikings now are up 58-56. And outside, Roca sinks it. Evanston still's got a little light in him. As here comes Reed Olsen. And timeout from Coach Olsen.
Yeah, we're both sweating. Jacob, you're starting to drip. You got your fancy circle scented water right here. I got nothing, man. Oh, my goodness. You cannot hear a word in here at points. And the purple pack now. Purple pack got a little bit too hyped, it looks like, as the Vikings take a timeout. Just incredible. Jacob, I'm going to turn the question on you. What do the Vikings need to do to win out here? Because now the Wildcats have a 1-point advantage. Do they start getting into that garbage time type of play? Or do you think they have enough time to put some points up, like a team would at any other point?
Oh, without a doubt, this Vikings team is capable of making it rain from beyond the arc and just getting good points. I mean, all it takes is one slip up from Evanston's defense, and all of a sudden you got Dylan Lamb open in the corner for three. Dylan Lamb covered. Well, here's Reed Olsen from beyond the arc. He likes to make it rain as well. And don't forget about Yaris Irby. He also can make a lot happen against E-Town. Vikings have weapons upon weapons, and they definitely can play smart. They've been playing smarter this whole half. and they've been limiting Evanston a lot. And, I mean, in clutch time, the Vikings can, without a doubt, make something happen. Irby with it. Olsen working against Chatham. Driving through Rexby now. And picked up by Rodriguez. E-Tower. Peters fumbles it a little bit, but he regains possession. And Roca. Peters outside. And poked away by Punzal. And good job by Peters not to get out of bounds. And Roca outside Chatham. Rodriguez. Peters. Roca. Chatham now. 1 minute left. And take as much time as possible, E-Town. And timeout called by Evanston.
Good call on the timeout. It was clear the Wildcats weren't quite sure what to do. I mean, who can blame them when, again, it is so loud in here. So much adrenaline, so much on the line for both programs. So they're just going to be drawing up a proper play as, you know, we get the ball back on the court. As for the Vikings, less than a minute left, 59-58. They got to hope to get another poke out like Rain Punzel had earlier. You know, get some points on that board before they have to rely on the fouls. We saw Yaris Irby try to take that into his own hands earlier, but he just did not get the call. So, you know, it's going to look like 52.2 seconds on the clock, but in reality, it's probably more around 5-6 minutes of true play, you know, on the mental end of the ball.
I mean, wow. It's hard to hear yourself think in this building. I cannot get that out of my head. So we're just about to come out of the timeout. Less than a minute of basketball left. Evanston is up 1.
Who's a VIP member? What did he do?
We do want to give a shout out to one of our athletic trainers, Don Palmer, and all of them, Joe Paywall and Dennis Makis, for, you know, keeping the game safe and keeping our student athletes safe as well. You might have just heard her on the mic earlier as the Wildcats take over.
And a quick foul there by Punzal, able to stop that play from happening. It's his first. It's the team's fourth. And here comes Peters, guarded by Punzal. 45 seconds left. Roca.
KC does not want the responsibility of ending this game.
And Roca now, Gawron on him, tries the foul, and he gets the foul. 28.1 seconds left. Vito Roca is going to the line for 2 shots. And he misses the first. Letting the student section get in his head. Imagine what happens if he misses this one. Evanston are ups. Reed Olsen working with it now. 25 on the clock. Rexby driving through. Yes! Yes! Quick whistles, wait. I'm not quite sure what happened there. The basket will count. And a timeout on the floor. The Vikings call timeout there. And you can't write a better script than this.
don't know what to say. It got so loud, and, you know, Vito misses the first. That second one, though, goes right in, and now tied 66. I think we were having some issues with the scoreboard. Yeah, it's been changing a lot in the Loud House on Lawler, and part of the reason it's so hard to track is because of the loud Vikings fans. So just an incredible atmosphere here tonight.
An emotional roller coaster on Lawler. So E-Town is going to take it. And this entire building is up on their feet. And 12 seconds. Roca, the shot's up. No! Chatham! Don't foul. No! And smothered out of bounds.
We're going into overtime, baby.
We have overtime here at Lawler. And wow. Listen to this place.
And I just got to say, you know, I think it was wise because some of the Vikings players were trying to foul there. But, you know, that would have just let the Wildkits score. It would have been tough to get across that court as time winded down. We are going to take a break as we get ready for overtime number 1 here in Skokie, Illinois. See you in a few. We are back, and we're getting some feedback that the fans back at home are freaked out. I mean, this is just incredible. Tied 60 going into overtime. Now, a little bit of a historical precedent. The Vikings, the last time they went into overtime this season was against Hinsdale Central. They end up losing that game 78-77 for that tournament semifinal round. So now we're going to see if the Wildkits can change the tide against E-Town. I got to take my inhaler, man. Oh, my goodness.
And we have overtime here at Lawler. The Vikings win the tip. 4 minutes of basketball to be played. And Gawron takes it. Here's Rexby. Punzal now. Rexby with it now. Spins around, no, yes! Boost up, Rexby! The Vikings strike first in OT.
Had me nervous there. You got to push it with your wrist, but it goes back in, and the Vikings are putting immense pressure. Roca doesn't care, though. Vito straight in for 2.
And great job by Ken Chatham reading the defense, going all over him, and finding Roca in the middle. Rexby now with it. Irby. Punzal now. Rexby driving in. No, rebound. Wildkits. And now Peters is outside. Olsen's covering him. Works a move. Way out. And Irby to the ground. No. Chatham able to rebound it. And Chatham, Rodriguez, no! Rebound, Chatham!
Chatham, defensive rebound. We need the Vikings to get a board here as Kay and Chatham does some fancy footwork and they pass it around the perimeter.
Chatham now, slowing it down. And whistles. Chatham will go to the line for 2 shots. And Yaris Irby, I saw him walking towards the bench. He's frustrated.
Yeah, it looks like some issues with his legs he's trying to stretch out. As Caden Chatham, the former Viking, shoots his first. It goes.
So Dylan Lamb is gonna go, and Irby's hurt. They're gonna check him out on the sidelines. Chatham.
No.
Misses. So here comes Reed Olson. Driving through. Gawron. Yes. There's a reason he scored 1,000+ points, and it's moments like that.
Incredible. And some might say that should have been an and one, but as long as he's getting that in, it doesn't matter. Hunter Gawron is a beast.
And Peters now with it. Rodriguez. Roca covered by Gawron. Gets Rodriguez. And a 3. No! And falling down. And the foul will be on Hunter Gawron. 21 fouls, 21 of the Wildkits, Vito Roca. And he's going to go to the line for 2. This one, the tie. No! Vikings hold on to the lead for now, but wait a minute. He's got one more. Six the other. Tie game. 1:27 left. Here comes Reed Olson. He's covered by Chatham. And that will be Evanston ball. That one will go out on Dylan Lamb. And Rodriguez for the Wildkits is going to take a seat. In form is Richardson. So now, here comes Chatham. He's guarded by D-Lamb. And Richardson outside to Chatham. Now Peters. And whistles will go. And it looks like Peters is going to get fouled by Lamb. So he will have an opportunity to take the lead for the Wildkits. And he takes the lead.
These Wildkits are cold-blooded, man. But the game is still tight, and there's a full minute of game clock left to go.
And Yaris Irby is checked back in for the Vikings. Now, remember, a few minutes ago, he was having some trouble with his knee. He was being checked out by our great athletic trainers here at Niles North, but he is back on the court. Looking to finish out the game. And Evanston up 2 late. Reed Olson now less than a minute left in OT. And smothering defense on Irby. Outside now is Irby. Rexby driving through. Foul! No! It's going to be a foul on the Vikings. They're going to call it a charge.
What a silly, I don't know what to say. So unfortunate for Moose, man. So unfortunate for Moose.
Chatham now with it. Guarded by Punzal. And whistles will blow. And Chatham is going to get a chance to increase the Wildkit lead. Misses.
Caden Chatham has got it. The feeling inside Caden Chatham right now is indescribable.
It's a lot of pressure on Chatham in his former home against his former team. And now he has the chance to increase the Evanston lead by 3, and he does. 37-2 left in the game. Rexby to Irby. And a 3 hits the ground. He wants a call. They're not going to give it to him. Or they will give it to him, actually.
What? No.
Olsen's going to inbound.
Oh, right, come on.
And long out to Rexby and fouled. So Punzal gonna get it out to Olsen. And 20 seconds left. The Vikings need quick points. Irby
Oh my God.
for 3. No! A painful air ball. And that could be costly. Never say never, but it's not looking good for Niles North.
We've got 10 seconds left to play here. I think they just go for the foul. Yeah, go for the foul. Hope that they don't make it. You know, the Vikings have been very loud, just haven't been able to fully stop those free throws. And then they have one more shot for a three-pointer to go into a second overtime. What I'm describing right now is asking for a lot, but the Vikings have the capacity, they have the will, and they have the support to do it. Question now, Jacob, is will they?
Will they? It's a great question. Hopefully, we'll get a pretty cool answer. So the Vikings need a quick foul with 10 seconds left. When they get it, they need Evanston to miss at least one to have a good chance and send this game potentially to a double overtime. And quick whistles. And some debate on what the call is. They're going to call it a jump ball, and Evanston is going to take control. 8 seconds left. And Shadow quickly fouled by numerous Vikings.
So there's that foul, Jacob. We're going to have 7 seconds flat. And assuming, it's Caden Chatham too. He's got it in control. If he misses these shots, Vikings have one more chance for a three-pointer. 7 seconds on that clock. Let's see the first.
And Chatham sinks it. Chatham. To seal it. No! Olsen needs a quick bucket. And denied by Evanston. And they're going to give it to Caden Chatham, the former Viking. Poetry for Evanston, and that will do it from Lawler. Evanston avoids the choke in overtime, winning it 68-64. And for the first time since 2023, the Vikings have lost at home.
That is incredible. Yeah, first regular season loss. And I mean, just incredible. I got to say, incredible play from both sides. Vikings really coming into it in that second half. Had they started going strong earlier, they might not have been in this predicament. But can't change the past. You can only see the present. And that present is going to be an E-Town victory, 68-64. And, you know, as the former superintendent said, and as Dr. Marcus Campbell said, it's a great day to be a Wildcat.
And crazy. An entertaining game, a rough loss for the Vikings, and Evanston, they get their big win. And it is almost sure that they will be climbing up to Super 25 come Michael O'Brien's next rankings this Sunday. And we're going to leave it at that. And actually, we're not yet, because Anthony, we hear you have a little bit of news.
Yeah, so the next game, well, we actually have, well, we're supposed to have a game against Niles West coming up soon. It's not currently reflected in the schedule online. Do you have any other information?
According to the official schedule released by the social media of Niles North Basketball, there will be a game over on Oakton Street for the Crosstown Classic, and Niles West, they better be paying attention, because Evanston might have given them the recipe to deconstruct the Vikings. But we will see, as the Vikings have won 9 straight against the Wolves and are definitely going to be playing with some anger.
Yeah, well, just for now, though, we do have to shout out, of course, Hunter Gawron for celebrating 1,000 career points. Gained some more today, and even though it wasn't the result we wanted, he is still feeling great. I think we're going to call it here. I do want to thank all 1,400 of you at home. We at one point had nearly 400 watching at once, which is, again, a record for my time as coordinator of this program. So just want to thank all you Viking and Wildcat fans out there for supporting your teams and coming along the ride with us as Niles North Viking Media. Any closing thoughts, Jacob?
I mean, none other than what a game. And the Vikings starting to show some cracks. However, it's still been a great season. They got Niles West ahead, and we'll see you then. Get to bed, Vikings. You guys got late start. Have a good night.